Hello, Joseph Strickland here, Applied Clinical Nutritionist in Austin, Texas. And let me ask you this. Would you like to enjoy the benefits of less medical intervention, better health, better longevity? Well, today I'm going to talk to you about that. I was at a seminar in Wisconsin, and basically this guy summed up what alternative health does and what it is. And it was really cool, having been in the alternative health field for quite a bit, alternative complementary, working together, not necessarily against or at odds. But he summed it up. And the three things that he told you to do, or told anybody to do, and what I tell people to do in my practice as well, is to eat right, move right, and think right. So I'm going to break those down for you, but that's basically it. You want to eat right, move right, and think right. Now, with eating right, it might seem like it goes without saying, but one of the best examples I can think of eating wrong is the movie Super Size Me. A lot of people talk about this over and over, but that's a great example of what processed food does to your body. So what does eating right do? Well, it does the opposite that Super Size Me does. It gives your body the components that it needs to look good, to have and enjoy health. It also provides the components that your body needs to keep everything functioning and working correctly. Helps prevent degeneration or disease. So it's very important to eat right and to utilize that principle to its fullest. I'm not necessarily talking about specifically having a microbiotic diet, eating low carb, low fat, or any of that. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm basically just saying eat whole foods, eat foods that are real. I work with people all the time that come in and that are eating ho-hos and, Twinkies and all these different dessert items and even regular food items that are frozen, processed, have all these things that you don't know what they are in them. And unfortunately, those do not help a body build. So it's very important that you take the components and eat correctly so that your body has what it needs in order to function correctly. For moving right, might seem like a common sense idea to move your body, but a lot of people have forgotten it. And I work with a lot of people all the time that have gotten into the routine of waking up, going to work, coming home, watching TV, and going to bed. And it's very important. I had a patient recently that she started exercising. Not only did she lose weight, but she had more energy, she felt better, she was able to handle her job better. So it is important, even if it seems small, even if it's just moving for 5 minutes. Doing that, starting out once every day could be done, or you could do it just every third day. But it's just important to start getting that movement in. And starting small and then building it up gradually is something that I tell my patients to do. And they generally do really well with that, because it's very hard to just jump in and start doing an hour, workout every other day or every third day. So I definitely recommend starting small and then building it up. It depends on what your goals are. Personal trainers and nutritionists, these are the guys that can tell you, when they talk to you specifically on what you need. But in general, the concept is the same. You want to move right. Even chiropractors or pretty much any alternative person is going to tell you you need to move the body to some degree. The third concept, think right, I think can be mutated and turned into one of the weirdest things, because I'll have people that come in and say, oh my God, I'm sick, it's because of the stress, the stress is just killing me and there's nothing I can do about it and that's why I'm sick. And I generally disagree. I think if you're building a house, let's say you've got a wall of bricks, if you don't put any cement there, the amount of stress that wall can handle is very little. You go to push it and then all the bricks fall. Well, if you get the right cement and you put that in between the bricks, you can put a lot more stress. So a lot of times when people say, oh, the stress made me sick, and it's the stress, I think what they're telling you is that their foundation of their body is not up to handling the stress load that they're under. So what I generally do is work with the first two components, eating right and moving right, in order to allow them to handle more stress. Now, thinking right, in my situation, doesn't necessarily mean if you're in the trenches with blood flying all over you and in the middle of a war, thinking, oh, everything's great, it's so wonderful. It's not this false happiness, excitement that people try to tell you to do. It's working with the right information. In other words, observing things for yourself and seeing what works for you and seeking to work with the right information. Too many times people try to ignore their own observations and try to just believe what somebody else thinks or thinks about a certain thing. But I think thinking right means looking to yourself and to what is true for you and finding the things that work for you. So if you start thinking, oh, it's just my attitude, or certainly that does play a role, but it's not exactly what is meant by think right. Thinking right means learning and having the right information to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. And that's true in any field. It's true in nutrition. It's true in architecture. You know, if you're going to build a building and you have the wrong information on how to build a building and you think you can just build it from sand, for instance, it's going to crumble. So think with the correct information, and that'll take you a long ways. So if this information helps you in any way, please let me know on my website, www.nutritionaustin.com. Rate this video. Go ahead and watch some more videos from this site. Psyche Truth is always working to give you the best information possible. We've got a lot of people doing a lot of videos on here, and we definitely enjoy it. So go to my website, nutritionaustin.com, sign up for my newsletter, and we'll talk to you in the future.
Woo!